Good morning, writers! My name is Elora Gunn, and today we're going to be talking about 6 more questions that you should be asking your beta readers. If you are a new or aspiring writer, click that subscribe button below, and also follow me on my socials, and the links are in the description. Let's get started. In a previous video, I talked about some of the questions that I ask beta readers when I first give them my manuscript, or I give them the very first part of my manuscript. They had to deal with things about the beginning of the story, if it hooked them or not, and other very important questions. So I highly recommend, if you haven't watched that one yet, go back and watch it because this one adds on to that video. But today I'm going to be talking about 6 more questions that you should really ask your beta readers when they get closer to the midpoint of your book, or when they're at least a couple of chapters in. So like I said, with the first couple chapters that you give them with the beginning of your story, there are specific things you need to focus on about how the book hooks them in, if it keeps their attention or not, if you're explaining enough that they understand what's going on. But these next set of questions are more aimed at, is the story continuing to keep their interest? Are the characters lively and real? Are you doing a good job of describing the scenes, and are you adding in too many unnecessary scenes? And our first question is, did you lose interest at any point? And if so, where and why? If you've seen my first video about beta reader questions, then this is a familiar one. And I am just going to tell you right now, it will show up in every video I have about beta readers. That remember, with your beta readers and your regular readers, you don't want them to ever want to put down your book. Ideally, the only times that they are going to put down your book is when they need to eat, sleep, or go to work. If you can achieve that, you have written a perfect novel. So ask this question and check in with them frequently to make sure that there are no unnecessary scenes or bits that dip down too low. Question number 2 is, who is your favorite character and why? The answers to this question are going to vary wildly. Some readers are going to like your protagonist the most, and some of them are going to like your antagonist the most, and some of them may just find a side character just wildly entertaining and latch onto that one. But it doesn't matter so much who they choose as why they chose them. You want to know what about that character makes them so likable or relatable. Knowing which character is your reader's favorite will help you to know if you've created a well-rounded character or not, and if there's something that maybe you could add in a little bit more if they really enjoy it. And question number 3 rolls over from question 2. Who is your least favorite character and why do you hate them so much? And just the same as before, it doesn't matter who they hate, it matters why they hate them. If they respond to this with, well, I hate so-and-so because they're just so boring. Or, well, I don't like so-and-so because they say they want to do this, but then they never actually act that way. They don't act like anything that they say they are. And that's a big problem. What you want to be hearing is, I can't believe so-and-so did that to the main character. Or, similarly, I can't believe the main character did that to their friend. How could they do that to them? Oh, they better apologize by next chapter. Feedback like that is more a reaction to the characters and not so much because something seemed off, is exactly what you want. If they hate them, they better hate them for a good reason. And question number 4 is, which was your most favorite scene from this section and why? You're looking for something similar as to question 2, but instead of characters, you want to know about the story itself. You want to know which of your scenes had the greatest impact on your readers, the ones that just blew them away or that they just can't get out of their heads. And again, the favorite scene of any particular reader is going to vary wildly. But in general, you want your strongest and most impactful scenes to be the most meaningful ones, the ones that are central to the story and the plot. If their absolute favorite scene of all was one where the character was getting dressed and taking a shower and eating their Wheaties for the day, there had better be some amazing character development in the writing. Otherwise, you may have a problem you need to investigate. And you guessed it, question number 5 is the reverse of that. Which scene was your least favorite, and why? You want to know this for the exact same reasons as question number 3. If their least favorite scene was because it was so boring, nothing happened. Do I really need to say it again? Bored readers put down books. Don't bore your readers. But, for instance, if their least favorite scene is because the main protagonist did something just horrible, it ruined the life of their best friend, then that is a good reason to be hated. And we end our questioning the same way we always do. What are your predictions for the next part of the story? As my beta readers progress in the story, I want them to start picking up more and more breadcrumbs as they go along. I want to make sure that I'm writing in enough obvious hints that I want them to notice. It shows both that I've done my job well and they're paying attention and staying interested. And as they get further along, it also helps me to know if I've made the big reveal too easy. If the end of my book has a giant plot twist that I don't want anyone to see coming, but my beta readers predict it in chapter 5, then I need to tone down the clues a little bit or figure out where I am messing up. So, asking this question as they go along is a great way to check in with your writing and make sure that you are not giving away too much too soon. Every question that you ask your beta readers invites introspection and more comments as they read. Ideally, by the time that your beta readers have gotten to the middle of your book, they've gone through several sections, they're expecting these questions, and they're more likely to leave better and more thoughtful comments as they read. So take advantage of all of the work that they are putting into this, because believe me, it is work to be a beta reader. Don't waste it. And be sure to thank them along the way for making your book even more amazing. And that's it for this week. Now go get writing, and I'll see you next Thursday with another video of helpful tips.